let's get on to the fun and the content. So I'd like to introduce someone I've known for a few years now. He is our CEO for 1st Census, Paul Winstanley. Paul has been the CEO since 2019, and he's really furthering his reach in Scotland as well. He's now part of the board at the South of Scotland Enterprise. He has been appointed earlier this year to the Science, Engineering and Technology Board within the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council. And he's also a co-founder of the Smart Things Accelerator Centre. He really is an influencer for change. Paul, I'd like to hand over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and Sharon, thank you for chairing today, and thank you for your kind words. I'm actually going to break a golden rule, which is actually never start a presentation with an apology. For those of a certain age, I'd like to apologise for my shirt. It did lose vertical hold this morning, so apologies about that. I'd also like to sort of, in the spirit of innovation and the spirit of being unusual, I'd like to start the day by thanking you. And I'd like to thank all of you for attending today. It's almost 3 years since we held the 6th Tech Summit, actually in this hall in late 2019. I think it seems much longer given the sort of the period that we've just been through. And when we were planning this event several months ago, there was quite a debate internally about whether people would really want to come into an area such as this, which is, there's a high density of people, and I think what you've actually demonstrated today is your willingness to engage face to face. I'd just really, really like to thank you in terms of your support for today. What I'd like to do is go back to what is the primary objective of Censis. Censis was actually sort of created to deliver economic impact for Scotland in our thematic area: sensing, imaging, Internet of Things, IoT. And I'm actually immensely proud of our, and I mean our in the plural sense, of our achievements there. So if I look at where we are and what we've actually managed to create, we're now in excess of 800 jobs created in Scotland. We've retained over 300 jobs. And many of our partners, many of our collaborators who've helped us achieve this are actually in the audience today. And earlier this morning, just walking around the exhibition, talking to a number of those companies, it's incredible to get that buzz from them when they're talking about investment, growth, what the future holds for them. And that's really where we're beginning to deliver that success, that scale. And again, that's just from a personal point of view. I derive huge personal satisfaction from seeing that growth and that opportunity come to fruition. If I look back over the last couple of years, we've actually begun to see our mission broaden. And in particular, for the last couple of years, we've been heavily engaged in climate change conferences, and we've seen our remit extend into environmental and societal outcomes. I think that's actually sort of, if you look at the program today, that's actually sort of reflected in some of the content that we've integrated into the program. So, for example, later today, Lynn Bailey from Heriot-Watt University is talking about the use of robotics in assisted living and health. And I had the opportunity, as I know a number of you in the audience also had, to be at the National Robotarium for the launch yesterday. I think what is absolutely stunning there is the facility which is being created, which is a UK national facility, which includes areas such as assisted living. It's got a surrogate flat, and I think that's one of the areas where technology can really pay dividend in terms of the quality of life that we can deliver. The other area is actually the environmental area, and this afternoon we're fortunate to have a session moderated by John Crawford, which will actually look at some of the environmental and natural capital opportunities. I think what we're beginning to see is the birth of the Trinity, and I'm not talking in the religious sense. What I'm talking about is people, planet, prosperity, and the three really do interplay well together. We've seen the effect of the Trinity on our programs. So if I call out a couple of programs, the work we're doing with Blackwood Homes as part of the Industrial Strategy Challenge Fund program. Also, more recently, and has been exhibited today, the Digital Dairy program that we've worked on with colleagues from SIUC, which is part of the Strength in Places program. Picking up on the SIUC link and the broader academic piece, I'd just like to make a few comments here. We have been increasingly focusing on engagement and support of our academic institutions. From a university perspective, we're blessed with some incredible institutions who've got some world-class research, but also working with some of our colleges of higher education and actually beginning to deliver programs there. And I'd like to highlight, for the first time since we've been running the Tech Summit, we're actually showcasing the work that our PhD students and the PhD programs that we're supporting today. And so if you do have a chance in the break, I'd encourage you to actually have a look at those programs. They're incredibly important to us. I'm now going to look forward. Next year is our 10th anniversary, and that presents a little bit of a conundrum as an innovation centre. I think there's always an expectation that an innovation centre is a transient. It's there to create an impact and then you move on. What I'm very much looking forward to doing is actually sort of helping to sort of lead, guide, develop Census into a longer-term sustained position. And I think what we've actually demonstrated with our track record, and what we've done is we've created the right to play in terms of how we can deliver benefits from innovation associated with digital technology solutions. And so the question for us is actually what comes next. What comes next for us is really about how do we scale our ecosystem. And I do mean ecosystem, I don't mean census. And how can we actually achieve greater impact from that? And so really what you'll see from us in the future is really focus on three areas. First area is how do we actually grow and evolve our relationship with national and local government and other parts of the public sector as a trusted partner. We've had the opportunity to work with many public organisations, and I'm now going to run the risk of calling out a few: Glasgow City Council, Local Government Digital Office, CivTech, Digital Directorate, Economic Development Directorate, some of the councils, Stirling, and we've really enjoyed, and I think we've delivered mutual benefit from those relationships. So this is not something new, it's something that we're going to build upon. Second area is actually going back to what I spoke about with the large programs, Blackwood, Digital Dairy. What I'm really interested in is how can we as Census support the creation of new large programs. So this is not helping organisations bid for programs that have already been announced, but it's how do we go into that creation piece, and how do we create strategically importance for Scotland where we can bring other resources into the nation. There's a couple of areas which are already in the work here. So areas such as sustainable electronics, which would be a key enabler for IoT in the future, but also looking at some of the sensing requirements in the environmental sector. And again, I think we've got some excellent opportunities in both of those areas. Third area is how do we create and drive new high-potential digital applications. This will be supported pretty much the business we do right now and the support we deliver right now, but also what do we need to do in terms of developing skills for the future, and actually how do we community build, which actually brings me back to where I started. You are our community. Our community is incredibly important to us, as I've tried to illustrate in the opening remarks. So I genuinely hope today does a number of things. I hope it entertains you. I hope it nourishes you, both in the belly and intellectually. And I hope it inspires your curiosity. And I really hope that you engage, continue to engage with us, collaborate more broadly, and generate new opportunity. I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you very much.